Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 108 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ and crew that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, by far, I think one of the big exciting elements of Episode 9 is how it's going to have a lot of connections to the originals and the prequels. That's really going to bring things full circle. That's really going to combine all 9 movies into one big epic movie by Disney and Lucasfilm. And on top of all of this, we do know that The Rise of Skywalker is aimed to be the darkest Star Wars film out of the entire saga, which is really going to be a big goal by J.J. Abrams. If he is able to achieve that goal, that's a big question open on the table for discussion. But on top of all this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren traveling into the Dark Spire, where it's explained that they eventually meet up with an ancient creature who calls himself the Forger. This is where it's explained that the Forger brings Kylo and his knights down to the shrines of the Sith location, where it's said to hold many secrets of the past and the dark side. Eventually, it's said that Kylo comes across an ancient relic that once belonged to Darth Maul, when Kylo Ren is actually said to come across the statue of Maul that was created by Sith renovators sometime before the events of Episode 1. In this statue of Maul, it's explained that after Order 66, Maul was able to retrieve and have his allies steal Jedi relics from Anakin Skywalker that were actually kept away over in the Lost City many years prior to Order 66. It's said that at one point in time, Anakin had discovered ancient Jedi relics and kept them safe in the Lost City. Maul was said to have discovered these relics as they were keys to the Beyond that were created by the Wills and handed down to Qui-Gon Jinn at one point in time, where Anakin later found them in an ancient Jedi temple. The keys to the Beyond are said to activate the Dark Temples throughout the galaxy and will be explained further in the Clone Wars Season 7 in 2020. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why I find this to be very fascinating about what they're really trying to do with Episode 9 when it comes to Jedi, Sith, and Force lore. Again, this really is more so related to Force lore because this is all about the origins of the galaxy, right? The Beyond, which by the way we learned resides over somewhere in the unknown regions, which is actually said to hold the origins of the dark side, the light, and the galaxy overall. Now, the keys to the Beyond were actually said to have been first unveiled to Qui-Gon Jinn by the Wills, where Qui-Gon hid them away over in an ancient Jedi temple, which were hence eventually discovered by Anakin Skywalker, where he hid them over in the Lost City, which were eventually discovered by Darth Maul, and Darth Maul brought this over to the place called the Dark Spire. Underneath the Dark Spire, we have a place called the Shrines of the Sith. In case you guys are out of the loop, the Shrines of the Sith location is actually said to serve as basically a graveyard for ancient and recent Sith lords that resides underneath the 1,000 plus year old castle that belongs to the Forger. Now, the Forger is said to be a creature that is a mixture between a monkey and a wolf of something like that, where he's actually the one responsible for creating Kylo Ren's armor and his helmet, as well as the Knights of Ren and their armor. So he is the one directly responsible for creating, how Kylo Ren looks, how he looks in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi, and how the Knights of Ren are going to appear in Episode 9. So, the Darth Maul statue, I want to go over this. In case you guys did not know, the Shrines of the Sith, there are many different statues of Darth Malgus, Darth Revan, Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and the list goes on, even Nile Ren, who served as Snoke's master at one point in time. So you can really see what they're trying to do. This most certainly is going to be used as a foundation to tell new stories about the Sith Lords of the past, as well as other dark side users that they want to explore in future Star Wars films, or maybe even the newest Star Wars trilogy, since they will be tapping into the Old Republic era within the Dark Spire, hence of course Malgus and Darth Revan. So on top of all of this, Episode 9 really is trying to mark itself down as a very dark film filled with tons of Star Wars lore. We are talking about many different pieces of Jedi relics and Sith relics and Force lore. I mean, that fact that JJ is really trying to explore all of this while borrowing many elements from Star Wars Legends and throwing it into Star Wars Episode 9, I think is very ambitious and just very, I guess you could say, goal-driven of him to really do something so inspiring like that, that's borrowing elements from the expanded universe that a lot of hardcore fans, by the way, really did enjoy in the 1990s leading into the early 2000s. So the last thing I just want to bring up here is that yes, we do know that the dark side is going to be fully explained in Episode 9 in a greater sense than we would have ever expected to see in a Star Wars movie, so get ready for that as well. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.